Hello, Chris Strait here with Straight Talk, doing a quick reaction video to another World According to Briggs clip that I saw uploaded today. Yeah, the best places in California to live without taking cost of living into account. That definitely changes the list up quite a bit. I'll put the link to that in the description below to his video. But yeah, obviously just wanted to share some of my personal experiences with some of the towns there. A few of them I just heard the names and I didn't know anything about them until he wrote that. But wanted to say a couple about the South Bay, Orange County, and and others on that list. Um, Starting with the Orange County ones, yeah, Laguna Beach. I used to work for a real estate auction company, and there's a private area there called Emerald Bay. They refer to it as Billionaire Beach. It's a private beach. You can legally drink on the beach with your containers, fully showing what brand of liquor you're taking in. Yeah, a lot of alcoholics in there, which I say the wealthy are second only to the poor in list of alcoholics. But they literally, you look to the right and the left of either side. They call it Billionaire Beach. Like you stand there, we're ready to, auction the house, and we're looking down to the right, and they're going, "That's Bill Gates' house. That's Oprah's house." That's, to the left and right, it's all these, well-known, incredibly rich people. It was a 10,000 square foot lot with only a 2,000 square foot home on it, because back in the 50s and 60s when that was built, people weren't so ostentatious about their homes. Nowadays, in communities like that and Manhattan Beach, which I'll mention in a minute, and Hermosa and other places like that, they tear it down and build a giant behemoth taking up every square inch. You literally can walk around the house like that. Between, 12,000 square foot house and an 8,000 square foot lot is not uncommon because they build so high. But yeah, they were going to tear this thing down and redo it. It sold for $20 million just for land value. That's to give you an idea of what kind of prices they're pulling in Laguna. Irvine, yeah, I watched that town boom like crazy in my youth. That used to be where Wild Rivers and Lion Country Safari was. That's how much there was nothing going on that far south. We would, they put a bunch of African animals and called it Lion Country Safari. Well, nowadays, you may well imagine this is a lawsuit nightmare waiting to happen. So, yeah, letting free-range African animals that could kill you just roam around, and then you drive your car through it. Well, they got rid of that and sold it mostly for track housing. They put in Wild Rivers, a sort of a big water park, which is also gone. Land just became too valuable. Now it's all pretty much filled in, well into the six-figure population, I believe. In Manhattan Beach, that's another thing you'll notice about that. There's a comedian friend of ours. I think, I don't know if Briggs still knows her, but yeah, Dr. Laura Hayden. We'll go ahead and look her up. She wasn't a doctor back when we were all doing bar shows together in Manhattan Beach, but she is now. She had one of the only houses remaining in Manhattan Hermosa area with grass. To let you know about how people, yeah, there was still a lawn there. And just because it was that small, she got letters on a daily basis from developers trying to tear it down and build something huge. That's what beach property in this area kind of does to you. And as as far as Mill Valley, I want to talk about that one too. One of them in in Northern California. That is the site of my favorite room. After 21 years of doing stand-up comedy, I have a favorite venue that I've ever performed at. It is the Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley. It was run by Mark Pitta, who, when I was a kid growing up watching stand-up, Mark was all over television. He became kind of the host of Good Morning San Francisco. He's from the Bay Area originally. But he parlayed that local fame into this Tuesday night theater show up in Mill Valley, and it was absolutely I mean, they packed it out. The same people came back. I did it about 6 or 7 times, and by the fourth or fifth, there would be people coming up to me afterwards, going, "Hey, there was a lot of different stuff tonight." Well, yeah, well, thank goodness, because I didn't realize you were keeping track. It was all the same people. They would have like surprise guests. 5 or 6 comics would be on the bill that you knew about. Then Robin Williams would show up because he had a house up there, or Bobcat Goldthwait, or Dana Carvey, or Mort Saul showed up. Like old legends of comedy. I remember being backstage watching Robin Williams and Mort Saul tell Jonathan Winters stories to each other, thinking, "My God, is this really happening right now?" The kind of thing you expect you'd have to go to a Hollywood club to get, and here I was getting it at this theater in Mill Valley. Also, what was cool is my sister lived in Santa Rosa. My sister Jamie, who actually grew up with Briggs, I think they graduated from West High the same year in Torrance. She used to come down, and it goes from hanging out with her brother to all of a sudden now she's hanging out after the show with these celebrities as well. So I want to let you know that's. And just some of these stories are the reason why California is so desirable. If you can afford it, it's still an awesome place. But yeah, if the list was taking cost of living into account, let's just say you could shift the entire list inland, about 200 miles, and you wouldn't even know it from Middle America or the Deep South or any other place where the cost of living is pretty low.